Hello and welcome back, and thank you very much for watching this lecture video. I want to tackle nomenclature of complicated molecules or molecules that they are carrying more than one, maybe functional group, or they have some substituent. And I want to know how to, name them systematically. Okay, let's start with the first one. The first one, our functional group, we have a carboxylic group there, and there's another one. It's the oxygen that bridge between two carbons. And so I'm going to say, let's find the carboxylic group first, and we're going to call it 1. And from there, we're going to say 1, 2, 3. So this piece, we're going to treat it as a substituent. And so I have a carboxylic acid that's made of 3 carbon, and there is a substituent on the 3rd carbon. Substituent is methoxy. So I'm going to say on the 3rd carbon, I have methoxy substituent. And next, my molecule is made of 3 carbons. So I'm going to say this one, it will be a propane. And I'm going to get rid of the E. This E, I will get rid of it and replace it by OIC, and I will add acid at the end of the name. And that's going to be the correct way to name it. Another one, our functional group again is a carboxylic acid, but there is another one is OH. So I'm going to say, let's start from here. We say 1, 2, 3. So the molecule, it will be a propionic acid or a propionic acid, and it has hydroxy group there. So I'm going to say on the 2nd carbon, I have hydroxy functional group, and then I have 3 carbons, so it will be a propane. And I will replace the E by OIC, and I will add acid at the end. So 2-hydroxy propanic acid. Next one, that's the carboxylic group. You start labeling from there. You say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 carbon. So that's going to be technically hexane, and that it has a carboxylic acid. So it will be hexanoic acid. And there are some substituents. We have chloro and methyl. Chloro will get a priority over the methyl if you alphabetize them. So I'm going to say on the 5th carbon, I have a chloro. And then on the 3rd and 4th, I have methyl substituent. I will say 3 and 4 di. And then I say methyl. Remember, for alphabetizing, we are not going to include the di or tri, to alphabetize the substituent. So I have 5 chloro, and then dash 3 and 4 dimethyl. I have hexane, so this one, it will be hexane, and then replace the E by OIC, and then say acid. And that's going to be the full name of the molecule. Another one, we have carboxylic acid there. So I have carboxylic functional group there, so I'm going to say this one, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons. So I have a backbone that made of 5 carbons, and I have 2 functional groups, hydroxy and amino group. And the hydroxy start with H, amino with A. So amino will get a priority over the hydroxy. So we're going to say 3 amino. And then 5 hydroxy. We have 5 carbons. So we say pentane. Get rid of the E, replace it by OIC, and then say acid. And that's going to be the correct name for the molecule. Okay, so it will be 5 chloro, 3 and 4 dimethyl. Okay, forgive me. 5, my bad. Like I read the top one. 3 amino, 5 hydroxy pentanoic acid. Okay. Now, I'm going to add double or triple bond inside the backbone while we have carboxylic functional group, and I want to know how do we, name them. Again, I'm going to highlight the carboxylic functional group, and that's going to be number 1, and I go 2, 3, and 4. Okay. And on the 2nd carbon, I have like a phenyl group and also double bond. Okay. And somebody might say, well, how come you didn't start from here and say 1, 2, 3, 4? Okay. Always give number 1 to the carboxylic acid, regardless of whether you have a double or triple bond. Always the carboxylic functional group has to get the lowest number, or technically you start from there. Okay. And so I'm going to say I have methyl, I have phenyl on the 2nd carbon, and there is a double bond as well. Let's highlight the double bond. This is our double bond, and when you looked at the double bond, we figure that we have a carboxylic functional group there and a methyl group here. Okay, what do we have on this side? We have hydrogen. If we look to the priority, this is then the carboxylic group, it will get the first priority over the phenyl, and methyl will get the first priority over the hydrogen. So in this case, I'm dealing with E isomer. Okay, so I'm going to say this one, it will be E. Next, I have 4 carbons. And on the 2nd carbon, I have phenyl and also double bond. So I say on the 2nd carbon, I have phenyl. Next, I have 4 carbons. So it's a butane, but I need to say where I have the double bond. So I say BUT and then dash. Let's show the place of the double bond. I say 2, and then I need to say I have a double bond. I'm supposed to say EN. Okay, ENE. Okay, ENE. If your compound is made of carbon, just carbon and hydrogen, and then you say for double bond, you say ENE, and that's it, you're done. But because I know I have another functional group, I need to erase this E and now replace it by OIC and say acid. And that's going to be the full name of the compound. Okay, what do we have here? We have a triple bond. Okay, we have a triple bond. There is a carboxylic group as well. Okay, now the question is, should I start from the carboxylic group or the triple bond? And I said this, I said it before, always give the priority to the carboxylic group. So this one will be 1, 2, then you say 3, and 4. Okay, so I have butane that one side, it has a carboxylic functional group, another side, it has a triple bond. And on the second carbon, we have phenyl. Okay, let's say on the second carbon, okay, on the second carbon, we have a phenyl substituent. Okay, next, and I'm going to say molecule is made of 4 carbons, so it will be butane. And then where is the triple bond? Is sitting on the 3rd carbon. For the triple bond, we used to go with this, YNE. I'm going to keep the YNE, keep this one, because still I have a triple bond. So I go YN for the triple bond, but then I'm going to replace this E by OIC, and I will add acid at the end. So now I'm going to say OIC. Then I will say acid. Okay, and that's going to be the correct name of the molecule. Another one. I designed the structure in a way that we have the same number of carbons. We have a ring that it has 4 carbons, and here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons. Okay, so which one of them is going to be the parent chain or the main chain? The parent chain or the main chain is the chain that it has the carboxylic functional group. So that's going to be technically the main chain, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons, and you have a substituent which is cyclobutane. So I'm going to say on the 4th carbon, I have cyclobutyl. Okay, butyl. Why butyl? Because I want to say this ring is attached to the butane. And then I go, forgive me. Then I go butane, okay, and replace the E by OIC and add acid at the end of the name. So it will be 4-cyclobutyl butanoic acid. Butanoic acid. First example, we have a carboxylic functional group, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons, and there is a double bond there. And number 1, it will be a carbon that is holding the 2 oxygen and hydrogen atom. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, I'm going to say I'm dealing with a pentane. Okay, so I have technically pentane, but there's a double bond, so it will be pentene. Okay, but before we start naming it, let's look to the double bond. The double bond, it has one substituent here, and the second substituent is going to be this one. Okay, so first substituent is here, and the second substituent is inside of this one. And as you see, they are across of each other. So in this case, I'm dealing with E isomer. So I'm going to say I'm dealing with E. Next, on the 3rd carbon, I have a double bond. So I have pent for 5 carbons, and on the 3rd carbon, I have a double bond. So I go EN, and then I will add OIC acid to the end of the name. Another one, this one, it will be alkyne, but there is a carboxylic functional group. So you're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we have methyl group on the 3rd carbon, and we have 7 carbon inside the main chain. So this one, it will be heptane. Okay, so it's a heptane. I want to say that I do have a triple bond, so I say hept, and then I say on the 5th carbon, I have a triple bond. I show it by YN, and I'm supposed to keep the E, but because I have the carboxylic functional group, I will replace it by OIC, and then I say acid. Okay, another one. In this case, our molecule does have chiral centers, one here, and that's another one. Okay, this one, it will be 1, you go 2, 3 there, and hydrogen, it will be back of the molecule. So in this case, we are dealing with R. Okay, R configuration. How about the second carbon? Second carbon, you're going to say this one, it will be number 1, that's number 2, and this one is number 3. Where is hydrogen is facing to us? Okay, hydrogen is facing to us. So I go 1, 2, 3, supposed to be R, but I have to flip it, and it will be S. So I'm dealing with S and R. Okay, carbon number 1, 2. This one, it will be 3, 4, 5, 6. On carbon number 3, we have R configuration, and 5 we have S. So I go 5S. Next, I have 2 substituent, cyclopentyl, and also I have SH, or in this case, I'm going to treat it as mercapto. So I'm going to say I have 5 cyclopentyl, and then I say dash. On the 3rd carbon, I have mercapto or SH. Okay, mercapto, and then I need to write the rest of the name, and that's going to be, let me shrink this one. So mercapto, we have 6 carbon, it will be hexane. There's a carboxylic acid, we replace E by OIC, and we will add acid at the end of name. Okay, zoom on this substituent, the SH. This time I replace the H by a methyl. And if you replace H by methyl, and this time, okay, and you're going to have a thio group, so it's technically is similar to methoxy, but the methoxy you will use it whenever you have oxygen. In this case, I have sulfur, so I'm going to say this one. I'm going to say this one is methyl thio. Okay. Okay, let's again go after naming. This one, it will be R. Next one, I just simply flipped it. And so that's going to be, again, R. How many carbon we have? We have 7 carbon there. Okay, look, the ring, it has 7 carbon. Well, if you look to the chain that is carrying the carboxylic, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the main chain, it has only 6 carbon, while the substituent, it has 7 carbon. So which one of them is going to be the parent chain? Still, the one that has the carboxylic acid, carboxylic functional group attached to it. So this one is going to be the main or the parent chain. And you're going to say, we have cycloheptyl. Okay, cycloheptyl. So you're going to say, I have 3R and 5R. Then I say, on the 5th carbon, I have cycloheptyl dash. On the 3rd carbon, okay, on the 3rd carbon, look to the way I'm going to write the name for the thiol group. Okay, I want to say on sulfur, I have methyl. Okay, so whenever, I say 3, I put dash, and then I open a parenthesis there, and I say methyl, okay, and I add YL. Why? Because I want to say the methyl is attached to something. To what? To the sulfur. So time to write the sulfur, and I show it by a thiol. Now I will close it. Okay, why do I need to add this? Because if you don't do it, that means the methyl is sitting on the hexane molecule, not on sulfur, and that's the reason I want to, I put the parenthesis there. I want to say that methyl is sitting on sulfur. Now that I closed it, entire of this piece is sitting on where? On the on the hexane. Entire of this piece is sitting on hexane. So we say after this one, we're gonna say hexane, and then we replace the E by OIC, and we will add acid at the end of the name. And this is gonna be end of this lecture, and thank you very much.